Hi, we are going to talk about application software. Computer have four components. That's input, output, CPU, and memory. Another way to view the computers, it has software, hardware, and firmware. When we talk about software, we can further divide it into mandatory software that we call system software, or apply to you software we call application software. A system software is like a Windows operating system. Your computer have to have it. Application software is like Office including PowerPoint presentation software. If that is applied to you, meaning if you need it, you pay money to get it. That's application software. Analogy for you as a student, you are working on to finish your degree. There are some courses you have to take it. We call mandatory courses. There are some courses for your choices. That's called election. Then that election is like application software. That's mandatory courses you need to take. It's like your system software. So application software is like an optional. You need it, you get it. You don't need it, you don't get it. You get it means you pay money, then you'll have it. Acquiring and installing software. How you're going to get the software, how you're going to install the software under your PC. That installing right now has been changed with the cloud base. Used to be you pay, then you load a piece of software into your PC. Now that's installing can also, you just install a portion, and whenever you connect into internet, your software will be under the cloud. The cloud is a server in a physical location. That install has been changed. Two ways to install. Example, if you pay money to get Office 2019, you can install to your PC. You are connecting to internet, you're not connecting to internet, make no difference. You can use your Office 2019. Other option is you are going to install a client version of your Office 365. Once you connect into internet, they have a server version you can use. If you are not connecting to internet, you cannot use it. In this case, Office 365, Microsoft offers free to students in a school. Office 2019 of Microsoft does not offer a free version. You need to pay to get it. There are pros and cons for this different type of installation. If you have Office 2019 in your PC, you can use it. If you have Office 365, you can also use it, but you need to connect into internet. We all know that internet subject to the speed and more chances to get hackers attacked. I have both Office 2019 in my PC, and I also have Office 365 under the cloud to use. I'm a professor. I have both versions, so I can experience the difference between these two and guide my student. A software license is when you get it, that software, you pay for that. The Microsoft, in this case, allow how many computers to install. They may allow 4 computers to install, because at home, you, the payer, have 4 computers. It is not uncommon to have more than 1 computers. So Microsoft cannot say that, and they don't want to say that. You buy this software, you can only install into 1 computer. The buyers will say, hey, I have more than 1 computer. they make it simple, and if you can install up to 4 computers, then you can do that. For school, they have a license, different type of license. That's for business. A school may have 500 computers, 1,000 computers. They want to install Windows 10. They talk to Microsoft, pay amount of money, and get 100 license or 1,000 license. If they use up the license, technically they may install to more computers, but they're not going to do that. They are going to keep count and talk to Microsoft. Hey, now I need more license. Then Microsoft will charge more money. School will pay more money to get it. Copyright law. Copyright law in different countries have different years. Typically, a copyright law protect a copyrighted info or software, in this case, for 50 years. That's a long years. The patent law, a patent lasts for 20 years, but a copyright lasts for 50 years. After 50 years, there's no copyright. Anybody can use it. So if you want to read a book written by Shakespeare, that's no copyright. Then you can feel free to make a book and try to sell to anyone. You can't do that. There's no copyright protection. So pay attention to this copyright protection for 50 years. We have a U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Do you need to apply for copyright protection? No, you don't. As long as you put down a C circle, that's a copyright symbol, or you just write down copyright, your name. That information will be copyright protected for 50 years. End user's license agreement. End user, you pay for a piece of software. You are the end user. License agreement, typically they agree you can only use for certain numbers of computers, and you agree to use it in case some damage has been made to your computers. They are not obligated for that. You are take your own risk. That's what you want to do. Typically, that's that. That's a lines, paragraphs, pages, fine print. You may not be able to read. You may not have time to read. You may not fully understand the meaning. Typically, that means that. You pay money, we give you this, you use it. If have some damage to your computers, we're not going to be responsible for that. Here, end user's license they give you must be accepted before installing this WinRAR, R-A-R software. They show you an example. From this example, you know that this is like a legal document. They are protecting themselves, not really protecting you. It's not like you install a software, they're going to say that we are not going to steal any of your personal info. If we've done that, you can sue us. No, they are not really protecting you. They are protecting them. That's typically called a license. Volume license. That's like an example I have given to you. The school, end users, you pay for Office 2019. The license said that you can install to up to 4 computers, and volume depends on the school. How many you want, school ABC, about this Office 2019. Then we calculate, we charge you amount of money, you get a volume. Subscription model. This is not like one-time deal. I buy it, that's it. This is like I subscribe, which means monthly charge, yearly charge can apply. Even at first it says free trial for 3 months. After 3 months, you guess what? They charge you monthly, yearly. That's called subscription. You are subscribed to this software. Example they are giving to you is also Office 365 Home, Office 365 Personal, Office Online, the different type, Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office have about 7 or 8 applications, naming Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, Outlook, and something else. Subscription model. Shareware and trial software. They may give you 30 days trial, like Access. Microsoft gives school free, totally free, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, but they don't give free access to school. They do give 30 days trial of Access. So that Access is different from Word, Excel, PowerPoint. This trial after 30 days, you say, hey, I want to try another 30 days. No, if you still want to use it, you buy it. And that's the shareware or trial software. Trial software is easy to understand. Freeware, that's free. You can use it for free. There are many software they want you to use for free. And once you use for free, they are going to try to convince you to pay a little bit of money to get more functions out of it. And they're going to be charged you. Or once you're free for several years, they have built up big enough user base, customer base. They may start to charge you, but you get use of using it. They're going to charge you a small amount of money. Well, you may pay for it, and many people with this small amount of money, the company still can make a decent income. That's called free software. And many companies using this free software idea to build up their customer base. Once the customer base is built up, they can sell this company to a bigger company, like the Google, like Microsoft, other company. So that's how they do business. Free software. There are many free software. They have this type of reasons. One is promoting the paid version. They have a paid version. They want to give you for free. Later on, they want you to pay for it. If you don't pay for it, then that's it. No more free lunch. Viewing content. This is totally new. They want to collect customer info or customer input, or they want to do some improvement. You are like beta test for the company about this new software. It's not reliable, may have lots of problems. That's why they don't want you to pay for it. They want to give you for free. Certain time, you're testing for that. Advertising. They give you a free software. Once you use that software, they run some ads. They collect money from the ad publisher. In-app purchase. That's another way called in-app. They give you example like a games. Playing the gaming, they might offer characters with one-time purchase. That's called in-app purchase. And typically they say, hey, it can be as small as 99 cents, that $1. It's not much, right? But if they have many people want to pay $1, they still can make a good income. Open source software that's under a GNU, they call General Public License. This is a totally different set of games. This one, they give you example like Linux operating system. This is totally free. Free. It's since day one, it's free. up to today, like 30, 40 years already, still free. In the future, still going to be free. So Linux is a free operating system. Comparing to the non-free or proprietary Windows, Mac OS, Chrome OS, they are not free. And this is not only free, they are open source. Open source meaning you can open up or you can see the coding of their operating system. You can see, you can change. After you change, you can upload back to the internet. Whoever want to use it at their own risk. Can you sell it to someone based on a GNU? You cannot sell it. Can somebody else sell your stuff to anyone? No, nobody make money out of that. Is that software belongs to you? No, it's not belong to you. Can you name the software like Linux? If I have a Professor A Linux, can I name it? Of course I can name it. Can people change it? Yes and no. They are not supposed to download your Professor A Linux and change to John Doe Linux and upload back. It's unethical. They can be based on yours to change. They can change your version, add in some new stuff, delete some existing stuff. Then they say that, hey, this is a John Doe Linux. They want to say they are based on yours, it's fine. They don't want to say they are based on yours, Linux, that's also fine. That's called open source. Linux, you go to internet, you can find thousands of Linux. Which version you want to use? I mean, I may use UC Berkeley. That's a good school. They have Linux. Their version of Linux, I'll use that. I see a John Doe Linux. There are too many Linux versions. I don't know who's this John Doe. No, I'll skip. I bypass this one. Cloud and web-based application. There are more and more cloud and web-based application. They give you example like Evernote, Google Docs, Microsoft Office Online. We use this example because students use Microsoft Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint. Access is different. That the other three, you can get it free online. That's the cloud or web-based. What is a cloud? Cloud means internet. That's web-based. Don't know who was the first guy created this term cloud. We just use whenever you heard that cloud-based, which means web-based, web-based, which means internet-based. Is that really have something up there to serve us for this technical needs? Not really. They are all grounded and like physically they have some servers, they have some computers. They just says cloud, which meaning you don't know where is this cloud and you don't care where it is cloud. Right? We talk about type of applications. The different apps apply to you. Office software, we use Windows, we need to have Office software. Office suite. Microsoft Office. And they also give you a different LibreOffice is a complete open source Office suite. That tells you this free open source can be used for Linux, Mac OS, that's Apple computer, Windows. We may need to add a new one, which is Chrome OS, the Google. Google have a PC now. iWork, we have iSomething, iPhone, iPad, that's for Apple. Mac OS and iOS. Mac OS is for an Apple computer. iOS is for an Apple iPhone. And they have a G Suite. That's for Google. Okay, that's fine. So Apple use I and Google use G. That's easier for us, right? no complaint. So Google's cloud-based suite of application, that's called G Suite, G something. Word processing, talk about Word. When you buy a computer, it comes with Windows. It does not come with Word. Not everybody need to use Word. Some people, they retire. They don't have paper to write. They don't have a resume to write in Word format. They don't need Word. But if you're a student, you have paper, you have resume, you need to have a Word, pay and get it. Or use a free cloud-based Office 365. And that's the Word. But even they don't come with the Word, they come with Note. So you can use the Note to do it. But that's very limited type of format. They tell you the same stuff here: Microsoft Word, Libre, Office Writer, iWorkPage, Google Docs, cloud-based. This tells you if you have a computer load with Windows, or an Apple computer, or a Google computer, they all have similar application. They are not compatible. They may look different. For example, you are using your Apple computer to use iWork Pages to type a paper and email to your teacher. Your teacher using a Microsoft Word and open it up, see some incorrect format. So who's going to change? The student going to change. It's not because the teacher is student, so the student going to be changed. Because this class, we are teaching you to use Microsoft Word. So you use some other software, you need to make it compatible, make it match to the Word format. And the reason not because Microsoft Word is better than iWorkPage. No, we don't do that kind of comparison. It's because there are much more companies using Microsoft Word. If we say 85% of the company or even more using that, that's the software school want to teach students. School want to teach students not necessarily the best software, but the most widely used software. So once students graduate from the school, most likely the organization hire the students will use that specific software. This try to tell you Microsoft Word, including many sample document. This is like a user manual, a help. Spreadsheet, that's another term. Microsoft term is Excel. And using this open system, it's called LibreOffice Calc. And for Apple computer is iWork Numbers. For Google is Google Sheet. Cloud-based, that's all different. The most widely used is Microsoft Excel. So we say Excel, spreadsheet, we are about to talk about the same thing. And it's a matrix. Based on the matrix, you can do the best functions called what if. They do some calculation. I'm a salesperson. I want to sell one BMW. That's kind of expensive. I want to sell one Toyota Corolla. That's less expensive. So if I sell a car, which equivalent to I sell 2 B car. Now my quota is to, you need to sell a certain amount, like 10 cars amount per month. Then if you sell a BMW, we'll count it like 2. If you sell a Corolla, we count as 1. So something like that. then you can do a what if. Now, what if I sell 10 Corollas? Would that be equivalent to I sell 5 BMW? Now, since I have sell 1 BMW and 2 Corolla, how many combination of Corolla or BMW I have to sell to meet that quota? So what if? What if? So you can do that kind of a projection, estimate. That's the beauty of this what if calculation. That's why we use matrix. Matrix can also, based on what you have sell, then turn out to be a different type of chart, like a pie chart or different vertical bar chart, and show it to your boss, or your boss, the project manager. They use a lot of Excel because they need it. Now you say they can see it in this way. Instead of numbers, they show you a chart. We can take a chart here. We all know left hand side, that's like a blue, the gray blue color, which is a blue color. Blue color is they have largest amount among those 5 items. We can all see that. Yeah, it's easier for people to see. Excel has been used a lot. There are many business schools. They request their students to take 1 semester Excel, only for Excel course. And all the business student majors, they need to take a course which is talking about Excel and only Excel, or Excel and something else. Now, something else may be Word, PowerPoint, Access, but they have to know how to use Excel in the business world. Excel is a widely used tool in the business world. You can use it for your project management. You can use it for your presentation. We all know that PowerPoint presentation, that's a slide presentation. But in the business world, Excel presentation can also work. You can make the Excel into a slide format, or you just use your Excel to do your presentation. And people ask you, what if, or this number is incorrect? Let's plug in a so-called correct number, see what happens. So that is what if. That's the beauty of that. We can see some options. If we want to lower the price 10%, or if we want to lower the price for 5%, we estimated the change of customer. Then let's see the profit. Database management, this is typically we have Access for Windows. There are some other product like Oracle. Oracle, Access. Access is kind of for small business and individuals. You use Access. For medium-sized or large business, you use Oracle. Access is a product of Microsoft. Oracle is a product of Oracle. So that's different. And you also have SQL, web application. SQL is to request the database. Like for view function, when I work for a company have prepaid car to make long distance. I type in SQL for this prepaid car number, how many units are left, equivalent to how many minutes long distance call can be made. I use this SQL if I or the customer service to change, to update. The customer complains, say, hey, I didn't use so many units. Okay, I'm going to give you back those units. I use SQL to talk to a Oracle database and update the information. I can view, I can write to that Oracle information. We can see that you got a database. That database have to have some info to be useful. That info have to be changeable to be useful. You can never change, then that's not useful. You have your bank account. Your bank account is always change. And also, you need to have a strong security protection. You don't want anybody to go there and change. You want all those legitimate users go there and change. Like customer service guy, they can go there and change your account info. But they don't want anybody to do that. So database security is very, very important. They show you see here, they have some kind of a key. Based on the key, they build up this access. For example, you are a student in a school. For this term, you are taking 3 classes. You go to registrar office and ask the person there, how many classes have I been enrolled? I forgot. That's fine. They're going to ask you, what is your student ID? That's your key. They have to base on a number to link to all the tables showing this key. All those tables, we have 1,000 classes roster. Each roster have a student ID. We want to see your student ID is in which 1,000. That sounds a lot, right? To computers, nothing. Computer can search one by one. They found your student ID. They're going to pull up. They pull it up. They organize in a format and show you, hey, you are taking 3 classes. Those 3 classes showing your identical student ID. That's your key. Key have to be identical. Then you talk to the registrar office, say, hey, I don't know. I don't know my student ID. And maybe I have one, I forgot. I don't know. School typically will ask you, how about your social security number? You do know your social security number. So you tell the school your social security number. They are mapping to your student ID. They are not supposed to use your social security number for that purpose. They are supposed to use student ID for that purpose. So, but not the other way around. You talk to the government agency. The government agency going to say that, what is your social security number? You say, hey, I don't have one, or I forgot. They cannot, based on your student ID, to map it back to your social security number. You don't know? Okay, nothing they can do. The computers, we are all based on the key. Or another example, someone UPS something to your house. You haven't received it. You're going to check with UPS. Someone send me something. You guys supposedly to move it to my house and give it to me. Where is my package? If they have a track number, but your package number, they can track. You don't, they cannot. It's simple like that. That's the key. You need to have a key. Also have a presentation software. Presentation software, we say that's PowerPoint slide. PowerPoint slide, that's Microsoft product. If you use this open source for Linux, you can say Libre. Libre Office Impress. You use the Mac computer, you say iWork Keynote. Use the Google computer, say Google Slides. That's PowerPoint slides. We can make PowerPoint slides to do presentation. That's a way, like most people nowadays use a PowerPoint slide to do their presentation. As for me, I used to use PowerPoint slide to do my presentation. Now I have changed. I use a lot of our picture file. I open up a big folder, in my computer, which may have like 200, like JPG or MP4. video or picture file in there. Because the presentation I'm doing, say, I may discuss a painter. You discuss a painter, they're going to lots of painting, drawing, picture. So the text is not the main role. The drawing, the painting is. In this case, picture file is better work for me. Once I have 200 picture files in a folder, I open up the folder, I go to the first picture file. There are many tools. They can showing those picture files for you. Showing the first picture, go to the next one. And the beauty of that is if you double click on the screen, they are going to make it enlarge. You double click again, it's a toggle key. They're going to back to the normal size. And on top, they also have a percentage. You can move from left to right to enlarge to like 500%. The bigger, that's easier for me. When people see pictures, a painting, they may want to see it closer, not PowerPoint with tags, short sentence tags. They can see it. So to serve different purpose. And should I use PowerPoint slide to do the same stuff? It's not that convenient. I want to show the picture. I want to show a certain portion of the picture. Show it that big. It's difficult. They don't really have that kind of function. Even they have certain function, the function is limited. PowerPoint slide presentation is not for you to enlarge to a certain extent. If you need to do that, you may use a picture file to do it. So that's my humble suggestion. That's what I'm using so far, and it works just fine. And not everybody doing that. Still, people doing PowerPoint slideshow. And my recommendation, if you're doing a lot of picture, like for instance, you went to Europe, you come back, you want to see people. What you have seen in Europe? I think a folder with all your pictures may be easier. You click on a folder of pictures, you talk, you want to add a caption, there are some tools, easy to do it. So that may be easier. Then put it up into a PowerPoint slide. It's unnecessary to do that. Personal information management, talking about traditionally they have like Microsoft Outlook. School, many schools use that. They don't use Gmail, they don't use Yahoo Mail, they use Outlook. That's a email. Open source, Barilla and Zimbra. They are some open source you can use. And Google, Microsoft, Apple, they all offer some PIM. That's called Personal Information Manager service based on what you need. It's to make you more organized, more easily to find your info. Like this one, they're showing you your email, your appointment. Like Microsoft, their Outlook, that's an email. Yes, that's an email. So your boss send an email, say, hey, we're going to have a meeting. Okay. You say, yes, be there. Then the Microsoft software will mark the time. When it's about time, your computer screen will pop up. Hey, meeting in 30 minutes, meeting in 1 hour. What are you going to do? So that's a good reminding tools. You want to consider that personal information manager tool? Yes, it is. I mean, you can turn off, then you don't have it. You turn on because you want to have it. That's fine. Accounting and finance software. That's for business world. Business accounting, like IRS. You need to pay your tax, right? Yes, yes, every year. So talk to IRS, and they have some software for you to report your tax. This Intuit QuickBooks, Sage 550 accounting, Zexlo, cloud-based, that's like a tax file, business accounting file. Personal finance, yeah, you want to see your finance and you want to do some investment. You have more money. You don't want to put it in the bank for this low interest. You want to be more aggressively to invest the stock market. That's your personal finance. Then you need this tool to show you the risk, the profit, and everything. Talk about desktop and mobile. Yeah, you're playing with the stock market. I think the mobile is important because you carry a mobile phone 24 hours a day. And that stock market change make you nervous. You want to know right away. So right away, use your mobile phone and check. They have some apps for your mobile phone. And cloud-based. Mobile phone nowadays we call smartphone, which means your mobile phone have data plan. You connect into internet. On the internet, there are lots of info. So you can get it. The software is located. Software is a software. Now, the thinking here is, where is the software? Is that inside of my mobile phone? Is that the inside of the mobile phone service provider like AT&T, T-Mobile? Is that inside of a third party under the cloud? Can be anywhere. So that's a cloud base here. And you can have mobile base. The phone, long time ago, you have your contact list. List your family members, your friends. That kind of contact list, again, the same idea. Where is those contact name and phone numbers located? That's in your phone, SIM card, right? You move your SIM card to a new phone. Everything you have are there. That's right now. Long time ago, it's not like that. It's under the service provider, like T-Mobile, AT&T. It's in their database. So once you change, you don't have it. So that can be the same. And you say, in case my SIM card got some problem, in case I lost my phone, I even lost my SIM card. So you can make it cloud-based as well. Once it's cloud-based, you have to connect into internet to use it. But nowadays, your mobile phone are connecting to internet by default. As long as you have Wi-Fi, connect to Wi-Fi or connect to PLMN or mobile phone network, then that's by default. Your phone is always connecting to internet. So should your contact list is under internet, you still can use it. So different places, third party under the internet, service provider, the phone company, or your devices, that's your mobile phone. 3 places can be considered. Where should we put it? Or we put it in both 3 places to be safe. In case you damage your mobile phone, still have 2 places, have that info. That's pros and cons. The cons is then you have bigger chance to leak your info to the outside world. It's spending by category, it's showing you your house, your car, your dining, your shopping, and everything. That's like personal to, like the old term we use is to balance my checkbook. How am I going to balance my checkbook? Oh, they have a computer tool to help you to do that. That's the personal you needed. Tax preparation, of course. Intuitive TurboTax. Yeah, TurboTax is widely used. It costs you money, like $50, something like that. And you say, hey, that's good. I'm going to buy it and to use it for the next 10 years. Unfortunately, it may not work that way. Every year, the IRS change a little bit about the tax law and regulations. You need to buy this year's TurboTax to preparing for your tax reporting. H&R Block. That's something I would like to share with you about the application software.